Hello everyone, I'm here today to present to you my courseware product, which was created using Soft Chalk. So to get started, we would go to my EDUC 586 course sites page, and here on the side we would click Content. Within that content you'll see a folder that says Soft Chalk Air Masses and Fronts. When you click on that folder, you will then get a courseware package. Once you click on that package, you click Launch Course, and my lesson will pop up. So I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger for everybody to see. Now this lesson was created about the topic of air masses and fronts, which is an 8th grade science topic. I created it with the intent of being able to use it in my collaborative inclusion science class. However, it can also be used in a general education class as well as an honors class. So to get started, we would click on page 1, which is our introduction. Now this page is intended for educators who would like to use this lesson in their own classes. It includes an aim that says how does the interaction of air masses affect weather. It includes 6 lesson objectives that students would hopefully be able to reach by the end of this courseware. It also includes the intermediate level science standards that the lesson addresses and the ISTE standards for students that the lesson addresses. Now because this page is included on a lesson that would be presented to students, I also included a quiz popper at the bottom of the page where I would ask students to answer the question at the beginning of the lesson, which was the aim. So this could be used as a do now and to get students thinking using their prior knowledge about weather. So how do you think the interactions between air masses affects weather? Say a student wants to write temperature. They click check answer. Okay, I inputted a comment that says great answer. Continue the lesson to find out if you are correct. So we are going to do that. We can continue the lesson using the contents page here, which narrows down each page by the subtopics included, or we can click the page navigation here at the top as well. So if I go on to page 2, we'll see the first topic, which is what is an air mass. It includes a definition of an air mass. It continues then with how our air mass is named and breaks it down into 2 different paragraphs. I included a map of where air mass is formed, and I also included some check-ins after each section so students can check their knowledge of that they are understanding what the lesson is presenting. So the first one is the definition of the term source region, which could be found right here in that first paragraph. The next check-in is a multiple choice question that asks air masses are named based on 2 characteristics. What are those characteristics? Students would click temperature and moisture, and they would get the correct answer and positive feedback. Within this portion of the lesson, I also included audio voiceover for each section. So if students would like to listen to the text after reading it, they can do that as well. So if we click that icon here, an air mass is a large region of the atmosphere with. So students would then be able to listen to that recording there and then go back to this page here. So as they scroll through, we're going to move on to page 3, which then goes over the characteristics of the air masses. Okay, students again can listen to the content that is presented to them. I included a matching section here to check for understanding, so students would drag the appropriate air mass symbol to where its source region is. So a CP, a continental polar, should be on the land in the north. And if it works, you'll hear that noise. If the does is incorrect, so continental tropical, it's going to go right back, so students would know that they would have to try again. Okay, included a section on what are the rules for writing air mass symbols, as well as voiceover again. We'll move on to page 4. More information about how air masses meet. We go over cold fronts and warm fronts. Included a matching item this time, a matching quiz popper. So whether during a cold front, long periods of steady rain, short periods of violent rain, warmer temperatures or colder temperatures. So students will be able to match their answers. If we just pick random letters, see how it works. Check answers. Okay, only partially correct, so we have to go back and check that again. And finally, the last page here, I included a video of myself. Before you take your quiz, let's review. An air mass and air mass is a large region with uniform temperature and humidity throughout. So I included a video for students to review the information that was presented to them before going and taking their quiz. Now this quiz object is worth 100 points. There are 10 questions altogether, all multiple choice, that touch on all of the topics that were presented within the lesson. So students would answer the questions, they would then hit check answers at the end, and their grade and score will be imported into the course sites. So they could click score throughout this lesson. They can see it in the corner. Once they are finished, they'll click that finish button, their session is complete, and they can close their lesson. So I hope you enjoyed my lesson on air masses and fronts, and I can't wait to see what everybody else presented.